New in London to break the post-election deadlock. It's emerged the sides could be seeking to learn from the Scottish experience of power sharing. Well, let's cross now to Downing Street and our Westminster correspondent David Porter. So, David, can you expand on this?
Well, Jackie, 4 days on from the general election, we still don't know who's going to be the permanent resident in that house behind me, or indeed who is going to lead the UK government. But the talks between the Conservatives and the Liberal Democrats have been going on apace, and it's emerged that two of the Liberal Democrat team, David Laws and Andrew Stunnell, actually were part of the negotiations for the Scottish coalition government between Labour and the Liberal Democrats in 1999 and 2003. And now if you look very closely at the pictures, behind Danny Alexander coming out of the Cabinet Office last night is one Jim Wallace, the former Deputy First Minister of Scotland and leader of the Liberal Democrats. He has been advising the Liberal Democrats on an unofficial basis. He's not part of the negotiating team as such, but he has been advising them on tactics. And those who have been involved in the talks in Scotland say that two things are very important. A, you shouldn't try to rush them, and B, the personal chemistry between the parties and the individuals involved is almost as important as the politics.
And David, speculation that the horse trading could involve the position of Scottish Secretary.
Yes, this is quite interesting. It's been speculated that the Liberal Democrats may be offered a number of cabinet posts by the Tories, and one idea doing the rounds is that the post of Scottish Secretary could be given to the Liberal Democrats because they have 11 MPs in Scotland, the Tories only have 1 MP in Scotland. The argument would be that it would give the coalition government more legitimacy, a greater mandate in Scotland. And this is not just something that the politicians are talking about, it is something being actively considered by the civil service as well.
And David, lots of meetings today. A sense that momentum seems to be building. Could we break the deadlock perhaps even sometime later today?
We don't know. There have been an awful lot of meetings going on. It is still a very fluid situation, but the meetings cannot go on forever. This situation has to be resolved. This morning, Nick Clegg and Gordon Brown held a private meeting. They had one yesterday as well. And there is a story doing the rounds that perhaps the Liberal Democrats would be willing to go into some kind of negotiations with Labour if Gordon Brown was no longer the Prime Minister. He is seen by some as a roadblock to an agreement. There was a secret meeting between the Liberal Democrats and Labour over the weekend where it was floated that perhaps Gordon Brown would agree to oversee the negotiations, form a coalition, but give a commitment that soon after he would stand down as Labour leader and Prime Minister.
David Porter, thank you. A teenager is due to appear in court later this afternoon in connection with the death of a 16-year-old boy. Jack Frew's body was found